All right. Good day, everybody. Let's get this started. Let me put on a little theme song. It's my theme song right here, like this. Good morning. Peace and blessing, come on, Cam. Good to see you, my brother. Let's get this day started. You know, hoping everybody have a beautiful day. It's nice out here right now. You know, so let's get to chatting, get to know the higher self. You know, I do all my beats myself too. This is one of my beats. Y'all stay tuned. I got a little production thing coming in. So these is some of the music you're hearing in the background. Young Elliot. All right, my brother, I'm gonna hit you back on FB. You got the same name as Young Elliot on Facebook? Yes. Thank you, my brother. Bless you. Thank you for your comment. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get it in. I like that beat right there. All right, so you know we're gonna be discussing more about the higher self and through experience, really, than to actually go off of what Elijah Parker. All right, young Ellie, I got it. All right, cool. Um, Only way we could really get to know the higher self is from experience. So if we actually learn from each other or hear each other experiences, just like you experience it. Peace and love, Gabrielle Bradford. Like interested in purchasing crystal and becoming a distributor. Thanks for everything. Well, Gabrielle, I want you to get in touch with me. You know, I posted yesterday, and not too many people got in touch. And I want to thank everybody that did get in touch with me. But you know, from my WhatsApp, hit me up on the WhatsApp, the 876-294-7297. Just add it to your WhatsApp and text me on there, Gabrielle, or on my Facebook. You could call me anytime on Messenger or text me, you know. It's Damien, Damean, and Samuel, Samuels. No S at the end, just Samuel. All you got to remember is um, oh, I'm in Damien. You know what I'm just saying? That's the same thing. Damien, my real name is just like my Enki name. It all go back to Agos Damien. You know what I'm saying? So um, I wanted to get into what happened to me last night. You know, I was doing my meditation because for us to understand the higher self, it got to be from personal journeys, like I said. So I'm doing my meditations, but it's like everything now. I took a while off to do the crystal. I put on some weight. I had to put on weight to actually take the energies of these beings that is actually in the crystals. You can't just go to crystals and start picking them up. You know, sometimes you get cursed. That's what's called the curse of King Tut. You know, they went in there and started touching those jewelry. And so the same thing, I came onto sacred land and started picking up their crystals, their rocks. And upon doing so, I had visitations as soon as I went into meditation, as soon as I calmed down. And I'm going to teach y'all about calming down so you can see the invisible world, because it's not far-fetched like how we see in the movies. As simply as actually getting your vibratory resonance in sync with the Schumann resonance, which is the universal resonance of just about what everything vibrate at: the earth, the universe, the planets, our cells. They all vibrate at one set frequency when we all in tune to it. That's the universal consciousness. So by you bringing down your vibratory frequency through calming down and relaxing and don't have too many desires or ambitions on your mind, the world starts to wave. It don't look the same no more like you're looking right now. It's fixed and solid. But when you get into a more calm, relaxed state through breathing and ingesting prana, alkaline in your blood, which only take 3 to 5 minutes. Anybody could do it. It actually now make your reality start waving, and you start seeing orbs and circles and chakras. And that's when you see what's called the subtle world. It's a very thin line. It's like the space between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And so that subtle world is what you need to be able to see to understand me and understand these journeys, because I'm at peace now in my life. I let go a lot of things. I cut off attachments. I isolated myself. I'm more like of a hermetic person, and I do recommend newbies that want to get into this to seek out hermeticism actually and read hermetic books, because they got the ancient past before they burnt the books. They tell you the truth and how to live, and everything in there is designed to actually work with your subconscious, to put pictures in your head, memory. Remember, you're not actually learning, you're just remembering. Everything is already in you. Only thing I can help you do is remember what was pushed over you from your parents, education, the government, our own desires make us now can't see. So by you being able to clear these thoughts up and these actual perceptions, you start seeing the unified field. That's all it is. It's the unified field, what Einstein talked about. So now, on that note, now you go into some type of place picking up crystals, it's not right. And so I was visited by these spirits that they look scary. The first to come was the guy that's from Parker Brothers, with the hat, white guy with the mustache. I'm not saying he looked exactly like the guy, because this guy looked more real. So if you know the old Cheetos commercial with the old Cheetos man with the beard, the white guy with the top hat, that look, they control. He's the gatekeeper for the mineral world. And let me give you an example of how it works. Like every object, like say this right here, this coral brain, for you to get in it, it has a sheath around it protecting it that is actually like its own unified field, a wave. And in this wave now, for you to penetrate to get into here, you would have to pass that gatekeeper. He's the one who let you in. And for you to get past him, you have to have certain signs. It's a certain demeanor. They look into you. They know who you are, your soul self, your true self, not who you are as a physical human being, because that's a decoy. Your soul is doing everything, but you're just here acting out in certain decoyish way. I want to give you a good example as we start this day off. Your mouthpiece and your hands is two different things. Your hands is of God. Your hands build things. Your hand create everything. But your mouthpiece is of the beast. It lies. It deceives. So when you start taking this experience into the higher world and learning the higher self, you learn not to take people's words literally, because everybody's always going to glorify themselves. They're not going to tell you their truths. They're not going to tell you their perversions. They're not going to tell you their errors. All they're going to do is make themselves look good to you, and that's ego. And so what we have to do is learn to see the nature, the motive behind of a person. That will tell you the true them. So you never judge the book by its cover, nor do you look at it for its image. You look for its soul. And when you see the soul is the same as yours. That's how you know if it ain't acting within how you would see yourself act, something ain't right with it, or it's coming in a deceptive type of way. So on that note now, we at with me now taking the journey with the crystals. The first thing, when you get past the actual gatekeeper, like say now, you see this piece right here, for you to get in here, it's like they go in your soul and they see everything. If they're not gonna let you through, you'll just be going around in a circle here like an infinite loop. But if they let you in, you actually into a world where you just see this, like if you're in a giant kingdom hall room, and it's everything is alive. There's nothing dead on it. So even though it might look solid, when you get into the ethereal world of it, the astral part of it, there's nothing in this physical world that don't come from the ethereal, and the ethereal is alive. So your wall would be alive, your floor would be alive. Everything has a living side to it, and that's where we error at, and we think that everything is dead. So we lost our spiritual side to see the spirit in it, which we lose our magician side, so we can't do magic or will things through the law of attraction, because we don't have the perception to see it as it is. That's why the Greeks, the Romans always call them the gods, because they're not seeing the physical form of it. They're seeing the essence of it, the actual higher self in it. And that see your higher self. It doesn't see you. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a quick little thing. This. I just ran through this real quick. I was picking this up, and it was in my stash. This is the Lost Keys of Freemasonry. I didn't really get all into this yet, but it's so funny. I'm running through it, and I scrolled through a page that I wanted to read to y'all, and I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the Emerald Tablet of Thoth. You know, they call them Hermes now, and from Greeks. But this is the actual Emerald Tablet right here. And actually, he got the translation right here of what it says right here. So that's what I'm reading to you now, what it says right there. Saja, I am. Hello from Guam. Good morning. Greetings, Michael Deline. How you doing? I'm just saying it now. So I wanted you to understand this translation because this translation is ancient. It's not new. And by you understanding translations, you'll understand me some more. And so by you understanding that, you know what is actually going on today that they're trying to deceive us with. So on that note, I'm just going to read what this says on this tablet. This is the Emerald Tablet itself. So this is what this says. Let me read this part to you first so you get to an overview. It says, the ancient tablet was the first revelation of God to man, while its mystery is practically unknown to this age. It is believed to be one of the earliest representation of the Hieroglyphic legend. Now, I'm going to get into that real quick for you in a minute and let you understand. But this is what it says on the tablet. It says, it is true and no lie, certain and to be depended upon, that the superior agrees with the inferior. So you got to understand, we have two groups of people here, the inferior and the superior, soulless. And like we war with them and we go against. But according to this, he said they agree with each other. They're one that is going to be always attracted to you. So your negative side is always going to be attracted to you. The more positive you are, the more negative is going to come around you. You must understand that. And for you to make it through, you and don't be mortified by people being negative around you. You have to understand that this is a divine intervention taking place in your life. Because as you grow into the higher self, life becomes a little easier for you in the physical. They actually align everything more. Your soul and your subconscious is actually entity, spirit, that work with other people's spirit. Like I said, you can't see, and align your life so it makes like coincidences. These coincidences is coincidences. It's they're aligning everything for you so that you could actually have an easier life. But with you doing that now, you get harder decisions to make in life. That's the problem with it. So things that you would dislike, you would have to sometime like. Things that you wouldn't do, you would have to do. It's called a sacrifice because now the law of inferior and superior come into play. As you grow up in higher self and in your consciousness, you're gonna feel superior. But in you feeling superior and being superior, you get your chakras open and a magnetic energy come around you. This is how your law of attractions is going to start happening. But it also attract those of inferiority or lower thinking to come to get energy from you, to get life from you, to learn from you, to actually come up in their self as into their higher self. It's the only natural course of nature. Nobody could help that. If you want to understand more, it's like, you know, in the book of what is it called? The Celestine Prophecies. He tell you how, you know, the future, some priests that got some hidden scrolls or books that tells that in the future after 2012, people is going to have psychic, you know, visions, relationships is going to be over. Everybody's really going to be into their self and trying to evolve. It's, you read the Celestine prophecies that predicted everything that was going to happen from 2012 on as far as psychic abilities, powers, everything else that we're supposed to be attaining. And so in it now, it tell you that people is going to be able to see energy. We're going to see it as waves, the unified field. So, you know, if you're starting to see these things and think they're UFOs, entities, aliens, you're wrong. That's why the government is trying to make you think that way so they could give you psychotic pills and push their new designer drugs into society instead of they cleaning up drugs on the streets or street drugs, but they're using pharmaceutical drugs now. So, anyways, with you not knowing this, you're gonna start tripping out, have mental issues and everything. But we're gonna see energy. We're gonna see in other dimensions. We're gonna see beings. We're gonna see entities. We're gonna see everything that is actually in the electromagnetic field. It's not something that the government is going to be doing to you. Our ancestors had that ability and we lost it, and now it's coming back. So on that note now, um, with us now taking this journey, it's like you're gonna have to realize that you yourself have to be able to weather seeing these and going through what's called Kundalini activation. These Kundalini activation might make your head spin, make you feel dizzy, because once you have a nadis, which is like look at it like a neuron or a vessel that's a straight line, a hose that is blocked, and so you're now turning consciousness. Your consciousness now in light. And so you will, when you close your eyes, when you go meditation, when you say you're astral projecting, like say you come here in my house and you astral project over here, you're not coming in my house. You're coming in your body. You're in a virtual reality of your reality, but you have all realities in your body. That's why you see the Egyptians had the body as the temple of Karnak. They worship, or you could say honor, the physical body, because the physical body is the cosmic man. We live in a body. We're the cells or the amoebas, the parasites on somebody else's huge body. So with that in mind, you got to understand what we are in reference to what the body is. And so when you astral projecting, when you go into different places, when you're going through different time, you just in your body. But you have two bodies, a physical body and an ethereal body. The ethereal body is what you go into to see all that. You understand? So I'm just giving you the basics so you won't be misled and have a misinterpretation. But now, when going back to inferior and superior real quick, let me read that. It said, it is true and no lie, certain to be depended upon, that the superior agrees with the inferior and that the inferior with the superior, to the effect that one truly wonderful work, as all things owe their existence to the will of the only one, so all things owe their origin to the only thing, the most hidden, by the agreement of the only God. The Father of that one only thing is the Son. I'm going to say it again. By the agreement of the only God, the Father of the only one thing, and that thing is the sun. Its mother is the moon. The wind carries it in the wings, but it nurses is a superior earth. That one thing only after God is the Father of all things, and its universe. Its power is perfect after it has been united to a spirituous earth. So our purpose really, um, I'm not going to read on because really I just wanted you to understand who the Father is. So once you understand, when we talk about this Father and the sun staring, everything is the sun. And not to say worship it like if we're worshipers, because if you're a worshiper, you shouldn't be listening to me. I don't deal with worshipers. We don't worship. We don't. One thing you got to realize, if you're praying for material things, you subject yourself to a demon. You subject yourself to a force. Forces is what we are. We're not actual physical form. It's enough forces come together per square inch to make a physical form, where each force a god. So within yourself, you have all the gods within you because you're force. And so those forces you pray to, those forces you ask for material things with, those forces you owe when you leave. You have to go backwards. You will dissolve back. And so you stop and you pay back for what you asked for on those altars. I was talking to somebody about it. You have to be careful with those things because that's where you get these spirits and entities that lock on to you. And these spirits and entities are shown in the Egyptian artifacts. Those are like the hippopotamus, the alligator, the wolf, the hyena, the jackal. All those things is real. They're the zodiacs, and depending on what your vibratory frequencies or what you're asking for, they lock on to you and they stay there till you die. Sometimes they give you Alzheimer's disease, autism, and all these other things, and you think it's something that is just natural from nature, but you brought that onto yourself from some type of playing with forces other than respecting what you have. It's like we want to be great. You have to suffer. And when we're going through suffering, we don't like to suffer. So we ask for a different path or give us this. But you don't realize the willpower is when you're drowning and you start flapping your hands. But if you're in a boat, what are you doing? You understand? It's like God gave you legs to walk so you could have a good physical body, but you go get a car and don't walk. And then when you get sick by 60, 70, you like, yo, why am I sick? But you was always in the car sitting down. Then you only walk in your house or walk up into your job, walk to your girl house. It's like you just get a car to do everything. So it's like you against God. You against the system and shit. The system gave you 2 legs and feet, but yet you choose that way. So you got to balance out everything and understand what's going on. All right, so now back to everything now. On that note, when I passed the gatekeeper and they let me in, it's a bunch of spirits in there. It's a whole world. It's like going into you could say animated cartoon world. And so when you in there, you get to greet and meet a whole bunch of other spirit that looks from like you could say Mortal Kombat, all them funny characters to actual regular looking people. Each one take you on a different journey through the crystals. They take you from between the lines of it to show you how it's made. They show you how actually it wasn't a crystal at first. It was a dinosaur or some other creature. All of them was living beings, with the dragon being the precursor to all of them. And so each one got a story that comes and give you like an overlay over your eyes, and they take you into like a trance. Proteins start coming in your eyes. That's like milk, ectoplasm, if you want to call it. And once that take you, it's like you flying through space, and then you come up in a different world. These is what these orbs do. So that was the journey that actually made me respect the crystals and understand that I can't just go pick up any crystal. I had to ask permission. And let me tell you, believe it or not, it turned into a whole nother experience, because now when I close my eyes and I meditate, they would show me where the crystals was at. Every crystal that I went and got, it was like I was directed like by waypoint on a map just to go there. By just closing my eyes, I would remember the spot that they say, and a shadow being would just go down and pick it up and go like that and disappear. So I would remember in my memory, then go right outside. That's how I found that shotgun thing, that ancient shotgun. I'm gonna sell it to a museum. It's real. Now, the next day I went out, I find stuff like these. It'll just be sitting there wherever they said it was at. That's where it was at. And so I've been like, wow, these things is alive and they know what's going on. And as you can see, that's done right here in the crystals. But you gotta have the spiritual eye to see them. There you connect with these beings. And you will see now, this will be 2 beings over a man laying in his bed. It's a little boy right here. He got his head out. This will be his pillow, and he's in his covers, and they're over him. So it's like you have to have spiritual eyes. These spiritual eyes comes from actually clouds, looking at clouds. The same being you see in the clouds is the same being you see in crystals. If I have this crystal in your face, you can't see what it is. But as I pull it back, the shadows, the lights in the dark form the different parts of what is in the crystals. There's nothing in this reality that is not God. They proved that God is a hologram, that if I could break this into 100 pieces, all of them will still show the same image in it. If I break it into 1 million pieces and you look under a microscope, all of them will show the same image in it. That's what you are. You understand what I'm saying? You're a hologram. That's what a hologram do. A hologram, you could take the whole and split it in two. Look through it, you still see the whole. That's how your DNA works. So you got to understand this theory of God, all this stuff, it's just something that cannot be broken apart, taken apart, or nothing. It always stays the same. That's you. So anyways, you can see as I pull it back, you see the black boy face or the face come in between the lights and the silver. You have to see these to have a spiritual eye. This is your higher self that only could see in these things. So when you sun stare, it start giving you these, you could say, flash lines. The flash lines is you see like white and silver and everything. The clouds sometimes start flashing. Every time you catch a flash line, you're able to read in a different dimension. So you could be chilling just in the air looking, and you be like, look at that. You see that? And your friend be like, I don't see nothing. There's nothing there. But you're like, yes, it's right there. That's because they opened up your chakras to see in other dimension, but not for everybody. That's what the flat line is. If you ever catch like a heat flash, it's like if you're having a heat flash and everything is turning color, you're seeing in other dimension, but they're actually instinctively unlocking your ability to do that. And so from there, it's like things start getting weird. Where, like for instance, now stuff like these, you see things in it. It don't look like a piece of rock no more. It's like you see a boy face. He got a hat on. He got a hand up like this. It's like you start seeing everything. Everything will make more sense to you now. So that's how it is. And the way he works, he's perfect. So no matter what angle you put it in, it's called a Godhead because it has something in it. It's perfect from all angles. So you will see images in it from all angles. And the same we will call it the Godhead because on this head you would say this side would be a head and on this side would be a head. You always see this double-headed dragon image thing going on because that's his signature. Just like, look at this. This is all nature. But why does it have one eye? It has the head size ahead of all animals, the dragon, a parrot, a bird. This seems like a mouth. This is the universal shape of everything in nature. I could take this pine cone. To you, it would be a pine cone if I hold it this way. Right? Now, if you take it and hold it this way, you see it's a Godhead still with the mouth, the side features. You hold it this way, it's like the side of a fish, the same features. This is what's called a Godhead. When you look at it from a two-sided perspective, it makes it perfect in all its angles. And as you can see, the identification of God is the holes in it. These same holes is the same holes that's in your pores. It's in your pores. It's a universal sign that you can't avoid. They can't trick you and tell you not. You see the eye right here. You see the side of the face. You see the mouth. This is how it all works. It looks like somebody now chopped off a side of her head. So if you can't see the God in it, look, it has two eyes. It has a nose. It has a mouth. These is the gods. And so if you can't see them, you can't pull them out, you can't call them, you can't will them into existence because you're looking for something like in them Google pictures. You think in Google pictures. That's not your reality. This is your reality because you see the God in it. So I'm putting you on upon what I saw, what looks scary if you was to see, but actually is the nicest things in the world. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. What I'm telling you would make me get in trouble in the spiritual world because it's defying the archons. It's telling, they want y'all to be scared of them. They feed off your fear energy. They show you the sexiest things and feed off your sex energy. And they always keep you one bill behind because they feed off your anxiety energy. That's what keeps this universe in place. You're inside a dragon filled with 12 zodiac or 13 zodiac creatures, and it also is governed by princes on four corners. All of them feed off your energies. We feed off of their energies too, believe it or not. Without plants and trees, there's no oxygen. You only breathe in one part of it. The trees give you the other part to make you live here. So everything is an even exchange. And you look at it like this: as long as we eat meat, they have the right to eat us. It's due unto others. So you don't know. The thing we do is an eating process. We eat each other. The way we come out is of a mouth. The womb is a mouth. So you come out of a mouth. And how did you get in the womb in the first place? It was aggressive. It was pounding, going like this in the womb. And it feels good to them. It feels good to pound it. And then out of it, a mouth. And I'm going to give you another point. While you breathing it like this, you're eating the person's face. You're sucking on their lips and tongue and biting them. Oh, that's the opening of the mouth, Egyptian style. You see, we don't know who we are. We actually just feel the pleasure and think that's normal. But look at it from a third person perspective. You understand what I'm saying? Then you get to know your true nature, what you are really. And then you understand what's going on here. So everything is an exchange of eating of the mouth, the opening of the mouth. So if you look at it, everything has that to it. You go into the mouth of the dragon. If you listen to Plato, he's in the cave. All of this is inside something we're in. So we're inside the mouth of something. Universally speaking. You just see it as above, so below. You know that. So, anyways, moving on now. Once you learn that with the crystals, I had to ask permission then wherever I was taking crystals from. And with that, they showed me, and everybody now pointed me to the different ones. And I want now, like, say you get a crystal from me. These is alive. They're not dead crystals that you just put on your dresser and put it next to a crystal. You shouldn't put two crystals next to each other. They should never touch. This is vibrating at its own frequency, and this is vibrating at its own frequency. You have to give them space from each other for them to vibrate so they can work for you. Now, if you could see the image in it, that's your God, that's your protector. Everybody will see something different in the image. It's not everybody's going to see the same thing. You're going to see from what your dimension is. Everybody's from its own unique identification, identity. Me, I'm from the Ifa people, the hat people. Everything with me is the hat man. The black hat man is here, and he's just so in everything that I do. And, you know, you might see angels. You could see, most people take these back in the days as seers, and whatever their intentions is, they push it into the crystal, and they can see their mother, what they're doing right then and there. They give you like a still, and then you focus on the still, and it starts to move. And once it start moving, you're in what we call the earth plane, which is the real-time astral plane for the earth existence. That's the same plane like when you wake up at 5 in the morning and you can hear your TV on and you can hear everybody, but you're still sleeping, but you can hear everything going on. Well, you're on the earth plane. That's what the earth plane is, real-time plane, but it's just you're invisible, or you're in your astral body. So I just wanted you to understand that. So all these now is like the new, just different crystals you could get. You know, you could call and place orders, whatever. I give you the information. I wanted to just share these with you so you could see it's many different styles, and they are beautiful. You know, I find this very beautiful. Let me see it. It's a shiner. These things is super glossy. It's like, you know, you're just looking at glass chopped up in many different angles. So you see how beautiful it is? You have this in your pocket, and these is like, you know, giant to be keeping in your pocket. I have small ones like this. Um, and the significance of these and this right here is like these actually block people energies. You know, we all have energy vampires today, because right now it's like a lot of people is messing with like different type of altars, and don't realize they're connecting to either two forces, God of the white or the God of the black, and one is the beast and one is of the spirit. And so once you connect with it, it actually connect to your life force, like I say, your spine, your kundalini. And once it do that, it drains your energy, it sucks your energy. So now it starts to suck your energy. What you have to do is go suck other people's energy to retain your energy. So now this is where you got vampires or psychic vampires going around attaching themselves socially, mentally, and actually, you know, in their person's heart to try to get them to think about them, to have them so that they could suck their energy. Then you feel weak, you feel tired, you feel drained. This is what happens when you actually deal with the wrong force. When you're doing the wrong things, you get the beast connect to you. And once he connects to you, you see the beast itself is a manifestation of all the any type of physical form. It could form in your aunt. It could say it's your cousin. It could make believe it's George Washington. The beast itself is just a deceiver. And so once you are attached to it for whatever material favors you want or whatever, that's it. Now, when you're talking on your spirit side, your spirit guides was already here. They introduced you to the beast just to see what you're going to do. You understand? They already know the outcome. They already know everything. But you see, you could just chill and suffer, do without. You could be hungry, and he got a plate of food. And he's like, yo, you want a plate of food? And you be like, take the easy way out. Yeah, give me. But you could suffer, and then tomorrow you get money and a plate of food because your spirit was just testing your will. And so you got to realize sometimes when we're going through something, hardship, it's for our own spiritual evolution. It's for our own ourselves to come out with better character and personality. So they do that. So you can't think just because this is opportunity. Nah, it's the beast. It's actually there to fuck with your splits in your personality, your egos. It's gonna change you. You understand? So this one over here is always just gonna watch and observe, but it's the one who's making everything happen, all your temptations, all the shit it wants to make you better. Because no matter what you take, from a relationship to your kids, all of them is gonna fuck you up later on. They're gonna break your heart. They're gonna hurt you. Everything outside of you, externally, is gonna hurt you. So they already know that. You see, so they want you to do that. And so by every time you get hurt, you get traumatized and you stop doing something. But if I say stop doing it, you ain't gonna stop doing it. You have to be traumatized to stop, and they know that. So they actually twist that around. Yeah, yeah. You can say whatever you want, but I'm gonna twist it on you. And so that's why we live in the reality that we think we know what we're doing, but we don't know what we're doing because it's them doing it. And you got to realize that's on the higher level, the highest level. Between them now, you got the archons that control your biochemistry system, your body, your mind. And if you ain't really studying and you're not actually aligning yourself with the ancient ancestors' ways and what they're saying, and you come with this, there is no such thing as this. And yes, fuck that. I believe this, fuck this. That's where you stuck with the archons. The archons is yours now. They do whatever they want. They play mind games with you all day because they control your biochemistry. You read the zodiac, you see how the tides control moon. The moon on certain days make more murders. Do you know that actuality, this is how easy humans is easy to predict in the mundane world because it's a program. On Monday, you're going to always say yes. You make decisions on Monday, you say yes. Tuesday, you're going to be prone to be questioning a little. By Wednesday, you're an iffy no person. Thursday is a no. Friday, you're back to being a yes person again. That's the cycle right there. They know that advertisement is geared to that. Voting is geared to every Thursday. It's like either a Monday or Thursday. I'm not sure, but it's for a Thursday. Everything that they want you to do, they gear it for a certain day because they know your response already that you're going to respond. So that's why you have to become conscious and leave the program, leave being predicted by the zodiac. If your zodiac is telling you what you're going to do today and how you're going to be, and you believe that, you're going to act it out, then you're under the archons. They're the zodiac controllers. And so as long as they do that, it's like they're lesson teachers until they could see you could evolve by yourself. Don't think the archons is holding you down and keeping you in the matrix. You have to prove yourself to the archons. Then you have to fight the archons. That's your basic Dragon Ball Z movie. Enter the Dragon. You see how he go on each floor and fight the top dude and beat up the little people. That's the same thing. He's fighting the archons. But when you're fighting the archons, you can't physically fight the archon because you don't have a physical body. So they got everybody in the world already beat because y'all all think y'all fighting them with your physical body. Only one who know it is Solomon. And they try to tell you that with Solomon, it's a mental game. It's a mind game. That's all I could give y'all is the inner secret to what's going on. But I will tell you this. With that inner secret, the mind game changes your reality every time you catch on it. You see, you could just say no to something and your whole reality just says and change. It was always that. Or you could just drop a habit and your whole reality just changes. You're in magic. This world is mystical and magic. It don't work like we're saying with words and let me go more realistically change. I'm changing, I'm doing it. No, you go through trauma to change. You have to change inside out, not outside in. That's the truth of reality. And so wherever you already is, you already are perfect. You're just trying to get back to it. Listening to me helps. These things align you. Seeing what's called truth. Knowing that there's something greater than truth is what's called honesty. Honesty trumps truth. You can have your own truth. He can have his own truth. Everybody is in their own reality, so their reality is their truth. That don't mean it's all one truth, but there's a one honesty. You could be honest. And being honest take you 1 second to judge a situation for its cause and effect. Once you see the cause and effect of something, you know the outcome of it. So you could be honest about what you're about to do. And if you're doing it for ego, it's going to take you a while. You're going to lie to yourself, scheme, do this. But honesty is your real path because that's your destiny. You understand? And make shit align quick for you. You don't have to bullshit if you're honest. But if you have to be on some ego shit and try find your truth, you're gonna pervert everything to how you see it, and that's where you lose at. You're playing into the archon's hands, and once you do that, your mind and chemistry keep on going and going and going till you catch a disease or sickness or some type of disorder. That's their plans. You understand? To make you reincarnate, so you stop desiring material things. They control the material world. The beasts run the material world. Who also run it in the physical? Woman. Who's a possessor of all material things? Woman. Man's is wanters. Woman is havers. Straight like that. That's why a woman just got to pose. She just got to stand outside and pose, and she get a man real quick because he's always wanting. You understand what I'm saying? It got to balance out, though. It got to be polarity's got to balance out. So I just want to say that. So the crystals now. Back to God, so much truth. Sanja, I am. Thank you so much. You know, and it's a blessing for everybody to make me feel good about coming back and trying to help. Because to be honest, it's like coming back and I'm starting to see y'all. This is what was we talking about from last night with the higher self. It's like I come on a long journey down. It's like it take about 20 minutes and I'm coming through so many beautiful dimensions. It's so beautiful in these worlds. Y'all gotta see it's just like Harry Potter movie. Please don't take me for a joke, man. I kid you not. And I take people there by just mental projection. If we spend time talking video chat, I can show you everything that I'm saying mentally. I have some psychic abilities that will blow your mind. But my thing is this. I'm coming back down and I'm back down on the earth plane. I see splits. I remember seeing this in the beginning and I thought it was normal. And all these splits is like everybody don't look whole. Where I'm at up there, way up there, everybody's full and whole. They don't look human. They look like our ancestors, the Egyptians have them, and the Babylonians, and the bearded men, and all these gods. They look like that. But when I come down here, I see zombies. I see scary people. Up to last night, I couldn't connect to nobody, man. I'm like, fuck no, hell no, hell no. But I have to. You have to. This is helping to do the split. You don't look the same in your spirit as you do in your physical. You have splits in you. That's my teaching for Kundalini, energy blocking. You know, it's like a whole course on it when I tell you about the look at me, the star ego, all these different egos, the splits in our personality. Like how if you was a child, let me tell you your first split. The first time you split is when the doctor slapped you on your ass. You don't trust whatever you came out of no more. Two of you came out. One protected the other one. Second split come when your mother first deceived you as a child. Your mother didn't give you your milk when you wanted it, or your mother hit you, you split again. Third split, when you left the household to go to school, you split again. All these splits, I could keep going. When your mother and father divorced and broke up, when somebody molested you, you got many splits to you. The splits look at this as a timeline. Wherever the split occurred at is where it stood. It's still in you in that timeline right there. And these is what you have to now integrate back into yourself. These split come out under certain pressures, Sanja. This is the world of empath. Empaths can sense all your splits. Empaths sense what you're not even thinking consciously. Empaths is like they read your subconscious. So empath might seem crazy to you, weird, but if you look into yourself and what they're truly saying, they're telling you the truth, a deeper truth though, a spiritual truth. Empath is the truth, but we just can't understand them yet because we're ourselves don't know why we're doing what we're doing. We're just doing it, but subconsciously, your whole life around you. If you look at your life on a whole and want to know who you are, what you are, your subconscious created your reality. That's the truth for your subconscious right there. Where you're sitting at, what you're doing, your subconscious created it, not your conscious mind. So that gives you an idea of what it is. But now, what we were saying about the subconscious mind and your reality. All right. Now, empathism, it has a lot to do with it. Because, all right, you know how empathism works. Let me give you a great example, and so you understand too. When we take this journey into Kundalini yoga, and you see like the Egyptians, like they're on their knees and they're holding two medicine ball with their toes curled on their knees. This is pressure. Think about it. You got two of these. Let's say it was 5 pound balls. You're holding them and you're on your knees. How long could you stay there? I remember my pops used to punish us like that. That was a punishment when we did wrong. I remember my pops used to punish us like that. That was a punishment when we did wrong. But let me tell you what's really going on that we don't know, that I learned, because I had to do it. Every time we do that, we make our magnetic field come out. It gets muscular and it start vibrating. When you're doing that, it start vibrating. You do enough, it's getting bigger and it's growing. As it grows, the spirits come in. Yes, actual, you have a frequency to yourself, a vibratory frequency that's unique to your own self. And only spirits that's in the air, we call them cells, whatever, start coming back. Sometimes you see them in your eyes floating around the squigglies and little dot. They start coming back, not just in your eyes, in between the pores. They fill in this salt brine to complete your evolution. These now become the brains where you become the genius, because you was missing those, because you only knew what your parents taught you, what you saw. You saw a Spider-Man movie, you think you're Spider-Man. You saw a gangster movie, you think you're Al Capone. All these was what you created for your reality. It's not you in the subconscious. But once they come back now, they kick all that out. Your personality dead, your characteristic dead, those fabricated ideas and concept that you took a piece of this and a piece of that and a piece of that to make you disappears, and the true you come now. You understand? That's actually why you see them in those compromising positions. All yogists do it to actually bring back the you could call it, they call it the solar sperm, because in the air is these logos, these chakras, these little circles. They look like target. You can't see them really until you look under a microscope, but they come back into your magnetic field. They're in my video. Have you ever seen my video on mitosis? I did one on mitosis. You see it. I do it right in front of the camera. You see the targets come up. That's them. Those is what we do when we do in genetic splicing, our own genetic splicing, our own DNA activation. You have to be able to push up your Merkaba where you use that energy to make the field come up. Then it spins around. When it spins fast enough, you see cloud. It's like a cloud. But when you look through your camera, it reflects now what's inside your Merkaba, and you'll see the cells. So that's how I'm able to do it in the video, where you see cells come up where I'm on my wall showing you target things. That's in my Merkaba. That's spread out. And so you will take two of them and you put them together, and that's how we get intelligence. That's how we get to be the gnosis, or have knowledge. That's the Egyptian, they're knowers. Everything just comes through you as download, but it just doesn't come from you sitting there doing nothing. That was called they separated themselves from what's called the profane people. They just believe that's how it worked, but they don't know the hard work. That's why it was a ritual call coming in today, where they had you come and do initiation into the mysteries, which is that what I just explained to you, because it's very deep, it's very long, but that's what goes on in the mysteries. And that's what they see that we don't see. They have overlays in their eyes that could see in other world. That reptilian that we call, oh, they're reptilian, that's a part of your soul that's inside of you already. It just has to be activated. The whole Sumerian legacy with all the gods is inside of you. It's in your subconscious. It just has to be activated. All the Anunnakis, they're inside you. You just have to be activated. And then they'll be spread out all in your Merkaba. And they work for you as those Egyptian symbols. And they'll be all over. Just a whole bunch of the symbols, the snake, the owl, the this and that. And they'll be like targets to use on different things. Like fast target. You see? I'm giving you inside secrets of what is inside the mystical world, the wizard world, the Illuminati world, that nobody is going to ever speak up on. You understand what I'm saying? That they could do that you can't do, while they control people's mind things, and you see reptilian looking things, their eyes slit up. All of those is part of the soul mission, a part of ascension. But if you don't know about ascension, you think that they're aliens, whatever it is the case may be, but that's not the truth. You understand? So these beings, they actually now control everything. And once you're able to see them and unite with them, that's how you're able to bless yourself. But you don't worship them. You're them. They chose you and sent you down here. It's you're just the consciousness in it. But they're there, they're with you. You just can't see them. So worshiping them is the wrong thing to do, asking them for anything. They're making everything happen. So you just go through it like a warrior. You go through it knowing that they're making something. They're making something. They're making something with you. And then when you finish being made, they give you your profession, whether it be like, just for me sitting on the beach, just sitting on the beach as an empath, it was the only way I could get rid of all the negative energy, sat there and just taking the beach. I found these. You understand? And enough of it now that this is a job. I got tables of it, bathroom full of it. And looking now for other colors and going to rivers and different places. I'm going to be making videos. I'm going to teach y'all how to do everything too. How to find them, what to look for, how to polish, how to cut, how to grind. I'm going to teach you the whole system. Y'all be jewel makers. You got to look at it like this. When the Jews got excommunicated from wherever they was, Jews was first in Spain. They first got excommunicated out of Spain, just like the Moors. You understand? And all of them was white. No blacks is in this. You understand? You got to realize that wherever they went, that was called the grotto. They made up the word ghetto. Wherever they excommunicated the Jews was a bad place. But the Jews who was in these grottos was literally able to flourish past the government, past the kings. All castles in the world, all over England, was financed by Jewish investors for the king. The king had to go ask the Jews who's in these grottos, who he excommunicated, for money or loans. Why? They didn't need that money. They had this. Alchemy. Everybody came to them, regardless if they was in the ghetto. They was like the drug dealers back then, and everybody needed drugs. So everybody had to come buy the gold, the jewelry, the whatever from them, which led to them loaning. And so my whole point is this trade, this learning, masonry, the craft, is actually could change your life. You'll be able to make jewelry. You'll be able to find precious stones. You'll be dealing with money, but in physical form, the old school way. They say a dollar is supposed to be represented by some type of gold. Well, it's better to have the gold in the crystal than to have the dollar, because the crystal is worth more in the hand than a credit on a piece of paper. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. These things is what we need to learn as, we're coming up now. Those people who don't want to participate in being the lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. There's many professions out here that you could start for yourself, from herbal, purifying water. It's so many things to do, and different countries to sell them to that needs it. It's something inexpensive. So just keep that in mind as you on your journey to your higher self, that inspiration, intuition, insight, all those inner things could help you build your world and create your own opportunities and profession just from your journey through spirituality and empathism. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Let me see what else. Let me I want to get black for a minute. Black. I got this book right here, right? Because where the ancestors got right now is like I left off when I was teaching y'all about colonialism and not colonialism, colonizing. We was talking about colonizing, because colonizing is very serious. And not with just colonizing, eugenics come into this. So I was leaving off that actually when the Europeans, I'm going to just give you a quick rundown so that when we get back into it, y'all have a great understanding. When the Europeans decided to leave Europe to, invade the indigenous earth, they found out genetically that they can't leave Europe and come to like anywhere, Australia, Africa, wherever, without having a genetic mutation take place, which led to sterility after 3 generations. So whenever they traveled, they had to bring women with them, and they couldn't stay long. They had to actually keep a rotation going. You know, that's some wagon trails. You hear all the stories. It started from, you could read it in the North Carolina Medical Journal. They was taking plants from different countries and put it in certain plants. They'll die or they'll mutate. And so same thing happened in human beings when they ran tests by moving different people genetically to different countries. They noticed by the 3rd generation or 4th generation, they became sterile. And so they told Surgeon General always to encourage people not to move from one location because they're tied to it genetically. So what wound up happening now, Europeans started this eugenics program, and through colonization, they wanted to get rid of every bad blood that's on the earth. So they was feeling if you lie, you cheat, anything like that, from England itself, Spain. These is the participating countries, the main conglomerate powers: Spain, England, France, and Portugal. Those four. They started to deport anybody who cursed, who fornicated, to the United States to help build the United States. So the United States was built by not just what you would say their version of criminals, but what they was doing now. They started learning that slavery or slave trading, the indigenous San people, the original Negro from West Africa, possess a gene in him, a genetic that can make them go to any country and live and not have the sterility problem. So what they did, they started taking slaves from West Africa. They only took slaves from Nigeria, West Africa. That's where the first Christian flag was planted. Maybe they say 50 years before they invaded Africa and started this, taking it apart from the West all the way to whole Africa got taken apart. They killed off all the people that were called Negroes, and now you have different races that is mixed. There's not one Negro in society way before this came in. And we have a mixed race. That's why all Africans either speak French, Portuguese, Spanish, or English. They don't speak African. None of them speak English. The average African speak French. So what you learn is that they mix their genetics now with the black gene and created a new breed of people called hybrids. Hybrids populate the whole earth now. Whoever was indigenous was killed. I got all the books, the ancient books from Frobenius and the natural history of man, that they themselves is looking for the Negro. The Negro is not called just a Negro. His original name that actually goes back from the Ice Age. The Ice Age was traced first by Frobenius. You could get his book on history, Natural History of Man by Frobenius, that takes you from the beginning of the Ice Age, and he go off from every plant, every cell, every amoeba, tell you every what horse, every pig, everything come from, including black people, who he called the progenitors of them, who was the first people here, are called Chaldeans. That's the name of the original people. Before, the next name will be called an Afri. That's where you get African. When you say Afri, that's what these people are. They call the inhabitants of Africa, but they're not the true Negro. The Negro is the second part of a group called the Chaldean, which was a small group that made up the Negro. Frobenius know them, and he speaks upon them as the Chaldean. So when we read it down in the Bible and see Chaldean, and they don't tell you if it's a place, a person, or thing, they purposely doing that because actually those was the first people that inhabited the earth, that created the Negro, where we get Niger from, Libya, all these stuff. And I believe it's very important for us to know that, because they come from the dark side. They come from a different dimension that created everything. And you have to understand how life came into existence. So by you knowing the Negro from West Africa, he possessed the gene to the white person. You know that everything came on a timeline over people moving. And so now you can see they're professing now, being their genetics is being compromised through this hybrid mutation. If you Google right now, just America's sterility problem, 50% of the United States is sterile. with prediction by scientists over the next 3 generations, the whole United States is going to be sterile. How is that possible? And you can't tell it's the food and it's the 5G, because the people of the Surgeon General who wrote the books and told them that if they do move the people, it's going to cause a sterility problem, wrote this back in the 18th century. You understand? So they already documented that sterility was going to happen in America. That's from the next stuff that I'm going to start showing you, that America was been planned out that they were going to be sterility. When they start teaching you about mixing, like if two mulattoes mix, that's the next one is going to be sterile. So it was every time they did the mix when it felt threatened, it had to go back to the root race, the original black or the original white, so that it could actually integrate. So I'm just giving you an overview real quick of why West Africa is important. If you watch on TED and all, the scientists is now studying the sands pygmy and saying that's their ancestors. Soon the Europeans is going to Africa and going to go live in Africa, and that's why they're having those fires in Mexico and all over Africa to get the indigenous people out. All of a sudden, they opened all the country. Canada's open now. Everybody could just walk over there. All the countries is open because they're taking out a group of people so that they could put everybody out of Africa, so that they could go there in Africa to mutate themselves, because this is about survival, and believe it or not. And we're going to have a big survival problem because everybody was moved around. All of our genes was tampered with. So you're going to see how they're actually taking the people out of Africa and letting them leave. They're going to be in the north. They're going to give them all that, the buildings, everything, because they're going back to nature. They know through eugenics that you take your shirt off, your cells start going back to nature and fix that sterility problem. That's our only way to fix the sterility problem, is to get back into nature, to actually be able to water, forest, trees, because your protons and electrons actually run back and forth. You know, if you want to see it actually do it, look at the clouds, stare at the clouds, and you will see that you'll see little particles come. Like somebody ever punch you in your face and you see little white stars or whatever. Well, if you look at the clouds, you exchange with them. You exchange. It's the same thing. Your whole body breatheth. And our ancestors never wore shirts, not because they couldn't make shirts. They're very intelligent. They didn't wear shirts because they know the body have to breathe. This European way and customs is killing us. Same thing. When you breathing in the dye, you're eating the dye. Think about it. You eat the lotion, the chemicals that we put on your body. Your body is made up of living cells that actually breathe, have sex. Actually, every one of them is an entity. Every cell that make you up. And if you don't treat them as a sim and feed them, nurture them, have positive vibrations going to them, they actually form fucked up looking snowflakes. They control your mood. So you have to treat yourself. Take your shirt off when you're in the house. Your body is a black body that breathes infrared light. And so you can't have your shirt on. You can't have the jeans on. You can't always be like that because you're eating dye. That's all you're doing is eat and die. So our ancestors never wore shirts and all that stuff. So to purify yourself and get yourself back on the path, you have to make yourself follow a culture, the true culture that where you come from, and everybody come from it. There is no other culture. We only have one, and in our minds, we go over here, you think you're this. You go over here, you think you're that. You think you're this over there. No, you're one thing. You're a soul. Where you landed on the earth depends, made you Chinese, made you Jamaican, made you American. But before you was that, you was just a soul. All that stuff is pseudo. It's the education down there that told you that, a program down there. So if you can understand your soul, you will do what's the best for your soul. And once you see that, a lot of things now is synchronized. Everything is synchronized. You can see the same thing in everything. That's what we're here to see, not to see the difference, to see the same. Once you see the same, you see the God in it. That's your higher self. Do unto others as others will do unto you. Somebody treat you fucked up, you treat them fucked up. If somebody treat you good, you give more than yourself to them. You understand? Always do that. Always never be afraid to give your last. Always have faith too. If you have $1 and it's a bum, and you could give him your last dollar, because you always could get another dollar. It might be his last chance though. You understand what I'm saying? We all here to help each other. Everybody is you. Everybody's you. I'm you. You're me. We all just on a different timeline, different part of it. So if you can see the you and me and the me and you, then empathy is in your heart. Your chakras open. With that, you see the spirit in the person and not the person, and you know what you have to do as probably if they're a gatekeeper to your next experience. Have you noticed if your life is just a circle and it's doing the same thing, it's because you never faced your gatekeepers. Your gatekeepers will make you go in a linear line. You're going through gates opening. You're going through gates opening, through interviewing people, meeting people, making decisions, getting rid of ego. Giving is receiving, yes. Sandra, that's a fact. One thing you got to remember, it's a give and take, expand and contraction, just like you're breathing in and you're breathing out. So if you always taking from the universe and not giving, something bad is going to happen to you. It's a natural formula of life. But if you giving, you know you're going to receive. Even if it's not from the person you're giving, you're going to get it from someplace else. But if you always just taking, that's going to get short and everything going to go downhill for you and you always have bad luck. But as long as you give through your heart and don't hold on to anything, you will see that you receive it back 1,000 times. That's how I live. I live the system of the ancient way. We do it from giving for each other. And if we don't do that, whatever you went and bought, you didn't deserve it. What you deserve, you earned it from giving. But if you went and spent money and bought it, that's ego. You didn't earn that car. You didn't earn that house. You bought it. When God give it to you, nobody could take it. You deserve it. Somebody gave it to you because they felt you're good enough and you deserve it. So always take a gift from somebody. They're the ones who show you a measurement of who you truly are. Not you going to go buy something for yourself and flaunting it like you deserved it. That's how you will see good people from bad people. Yes, Sandra, compassion. Compassion is inside yourself. If you love yourself, you have compassion. If you don't love yourself, you will see the evil that you are in yourself and everybody else. So if you don't see somebody who will do right to themselves, care about themselves before they care about you, for real, you don't want somebody who care about you. That means they don't love themselves. You want somebody who loves themselves. That means they're gonna love you even more. And I don't mean doing it in some way where you letting some nigga kick you around and don't care. No, you will know what I'm talking about. It's a deeper love. It's a deeper spiritual love. And you will see that that person who loved themselves will sacrifice themselves for others quicker before anybody else will. That type of love. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. So I think we covered enough. Now, I'm just demonstrating again. Let me show off some of these. I love these glassy looking ones. These are so beautiful, man. And like I said, you look through them, you learn your seeing abilities. These activate your chakras. And chakras is not what we think it is. Look, this is the boy king right there. You see the boy king in there? You look at the dark shadows. You get shadows and then you see different things. So these activate you. When you're an empath, we stare at these and we can see what's going on. And it actually make proteins come up in you. It just starts off the flaps of your DNA from opening. Once you know what make your flap open from positive and negative protein. So say you're vegetarian and have no protein in you, your DNA flaps ain't gonna be moving. It's protein that make it move. And what makes protein? Perception, understanding what you're hearing. That's what makes protein. Straight like that. So as long as you understand something, you're activating your DNA. You're evolving, which is different from learning something and regurgitating it. You don't want to learn something and then go repeat it. That keeps your flap closed. You want to be able to pay attention, listen, and understand it so that your DNA see now in a different perception. It's like you looking from this angle, then it show you from this angle, then this angle. You see, every angle you see is a DNA opening that give you a 360-degree view. So you become a knower. That's the trick to this. You want to be a knower, not somebody who had to go and do it. So if you read a little bit of information or I give you one word, everything else makes sense to you now. Just put that one word because that's all you needed, a little punch start. All right, so let me tell you about this. Are your crystals only for protection and activation? Thank you for all the knowledge. No, it's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. These crystals, they actually like help to bring confidence in your life. Like say if you had a job interview and you're afraid or you're not sure if you're gonna get it, you put one of these crystals in your pocket. and actually it gives you confidence and make you feel assured of what you're doing. It actually also, like, say if you had a loved one and you really want to be with that person, you actually give them one of these crystals, and it's like a love spell that make them want to get with you. And it's like this crystal is the ultimate crystal. I wouldn't give you something that wasn't God. This is God. This is Sun. This is what the Greeks and the Romans worship. It's called Sol, S-O-L. You understand? Because it's the yellow sun is self-calcified. So it takes on intentions. Whatever your intentions is, it will actually enhance it. But what I will do so you will understand is that there is calcite crystal write-ups and videos that tell you the benefit of it as far as spiritual healing, chakra work, and everything. Like, I'm gonna pull up one for you now. So I'm not here to promote myself. I'm not here to actually try to sell you anything. I'm just here to tell you the truth. So by you seeing it for yourself, it will help than actually telling you. So here go a little quick demonstration of like what it does. It's just for the, you know. Okay, well, now you could hear.
Hello, I'm Adam Barrowley and welcome to this Crystal Connection video where we're exploring the crystal orange calcite.
All right.
Calcites are found plentifully around the world in a range of whole different colours. Now when you get a raw piece of calcite, you notice it feels waxy or soapy. And what do we use soap for? For washing, for cleansing away. And so calcites are really good for cleansing and clearing away energy.
You hear that? For cleansing and clearing away energy.
Now orange is found in various places in large masses around the world. And it's connected with the Baltic sun god called Sol. Now it's believed that he will ride his chariot across the sky and he helps us shed this orange calcite everywhere, which helps us to overcome the cold of the winter solstice. So we're going to look at how you can use orange calcite to shed what you don't want, to cleanse and clear away, and to bring that fiery solar energy that's associated with orange calcite. Orange calcite helps us to cleanse away anything that's stopping us from forming closer and more intimate relationships. If you want a friendship to become deeper and more connected, then have orange calcite. Either wear it, gift it to your friend, or have it around the space wherever your friends are hanging out. It also helps to clear away any guilt or trust issues that have stopped us from maybe stepping forward into being fully invested in any kind of relationship, whether that be a family one, a friendship one, or a romantic one. It can also help to rekindle love.
Hello? Yeah, I get the idea though. What's going on, brother? You here? You touched down? Okay, congratulations. Yes, yes. Yes, yeah, right, come through. All right. All right, so yeah, I didn't get to play that whole video, and I'm gonna have to cut this short. I got some other business I have to take care of. But you see, the calcite is very powerful. That's what the calcite do. It does a lot, you know. And you could just Google YouTube calcite, and you will see health benefits of it or whatever. It show you what calcite do. So it's not the only ones that I have. But right where I'm at, I've got my own mine. It is a calcite mine, and that's what I'm specializing right now. I'm not focusing on other things. So on that note, I got to get ready to go meet this manager and get into this stuff. But hey, just get with me, you know, University of Conscious Science at gmail.com, Damian Samuels on Facebook without the S at the end. My WhatsApp is 876-294-7297. So we could get up more. And I'm going to do another live, and I'm going to do some Facebook live. This is just the beginning. I'll be back. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day, and one love. Peace and blessings. Much love. You're welcome, Gabrielle Bradford.